Welcome to Amalgam Hour, the movie and comic podcast. I'm Robin.
I'm Dan.
See, the times when I say the intro's getting shorter and shorter, Dan. You have to be on the ball all the time. What are we talking about today, Dan? Go.
Very delayed What If review.
Well, yes. By the time this comes out, it'll be a week. I can't even remember when I
Over a week.
last
It's already
watched
been
it.
over a week, but
Shh! Don't tell the
very
viewing
busy
audience.
individuals now.
They don't know when the date is. They don't know. Shh.
We're busy.
Exactly.
Now we got time. We need to record.
Yes. Exactly. So.
If review. We're going for a structure.
Yeah. Let's start where all things start. The number one. So.
Yeah. Episode 1.
What if Captain Carter were the... And then Disney Plus cuts it off so I can't see the full title.
The first adventure. Calm down.
I don't get why... Some of these titles are just weird. Well, it should be What if Sharon Carter was the first Avenger? Go in the bin.
Sharon Carter.
Oh, not Sharon. What's her name? Peggy. Peggy. That's the one. I'm getting my Sharons confused.
The other one, Steve Band.
I know, in this universe, they've probably done stuff. So, this was What if Captain America, the first Avenger, but someone a little bit more badass. And I appreciated it. Someone in a Union Jack. It looks better. It looks better.
Yeah. British people were more brutal.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Literally, I think this is the worst one they could have started with. I get why they did.
I think it was a good introduction.
I get why they did, because it's just the one you'll get instantly. If you've watched Captain America 1, you'll get this one. Yeah, it's safe. But, I don't know, this entire show has a very interesting, atmosphere because it changes every episode. Which I get with anthologies, but it's like, are you a horror anthology? Well, up until the last 2 episodes, it is. It is. It's an anthology with a narrator. But it's like, Black Mirror is an anthology. Every time you watch an episode, you know what you're going to be in for. Technology gone bad, commentary on the human race. This, you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. It could be serious. It could be horrific. Could be sad. Could be Captain Carter kicking people's ass, which I appreciate, but yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. But I think that summarizes the entirety of What If, where it's like you pick up a What If book, you don't know what you're getting. Could be anything.
There's no boundaries.
No boundaries. None. So what did happen in this episode? She got the serum and...
Yeah, Captain America, the first Avenger happened.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden she was just like, no, I have the Tesseract. Not you. Me. No.
This episode does have pacing problems.
It really does. It's
just boom, boom, boom.
It's hard because it's literally just Captain America 1. And then they went, oh shit, we can't just have it be Captain America 1. Rub out. Shumagulrath appears. There you go. And I know it's probably not, but it was a tentacle creature, and I looked at it funny. Yeah. Therefore, it is.
It didn't make sense that she had to sort of walk through. She could have bailed last second, but
I'm okay with that because it's like maybe the excuse is if she dived out the way last second, it could have just burst out immediately again. You know, maybe it was that was the only way. It was just an interesting way because it's literally the first film. Literally the exact same thing happens. Captain America, in quotes, is created, stops Red Skull, gets sent to 2010 or whatever. Yeah. And it's like, you could have done more interesting stuff. And okay, you gave us Steve Rogers in...
I did think he was he should have just, at the start when he gets shot and he can't go in the thing.
Yeah. I'm like, just die. Just die. But then it's like, no, because we got to do Winter Soldier. But I'm like, what happens to Bucky in this universe? Bucky just dies an old man. Because he doesn't fall off the train. Don't he? Doesn't she save him? Yeah. I do like...
Steve Rogers goes down.
Yeah. I do like that, what's the actress's name? who plays Peggy Carter.
Hayley Atwell, I think.
I like her. That's the only reason I want. Like, do you know people have been saying, "Oh yeah, do you think we're gonna get these characters in the MCU?" I'm like, yes. Put it, Captain Britain. Yes. We should probably talk about this later, but I'm going to skip right to the point. If you go to Infernum_Comics and click onto the stories today, you would have seen a video that I put up. Did you see it today, Dan?
Yeah. I've already seen the video, but...
It was of, do you know the scene where Black Widow is brung to that universe without Black Widow? Someone did it.
Into the main MCU.
Yeah, someone did it to the end game, and it makes so much sense. And I'm like, if they would have done that, the internet would have uproared in hate and love. You know? I'm just saying, it's like,
glad they did.
I'm really glad they didn't. But I'm like, I kind of want to see these characters in the MCU, because I think I like half of them more than the ones we have. Whoops. Whoopsie. Because we'll go through and we'll tell. I'll say why I like them more than the original MCU. But there's not a lot to talk about with this first episode. Because...
safe.
Yeah, it's safe. It's not that interesting of a change. It neither made me more hyped for the show or less hyped. I was just still meh. I was just meh. So...
yeah.
And there's not much else.
The main problem is dealing with, like, most of the episodes later on, the changes happened a few years ago. This one, we're following the immediate aftermath.
Yeah, which I get, but it's like...
so you can't...
You could have...
There hasn't been time for things to change.
But you could have done that and changed it so much more. Do you get what I mean? Where it's not just the film up until a certain part. It's like, as soon as she gets the serum, entire history changes immediately. Like, instead of going to go save
but it's like...
the Howling Commando, she goes and she saves someone else. Do you get what I mean?
The problem with that, though, is like, they were already captured and things were already put in motion before
but that's the thing,
that
but it's
scene
like,
in the movie happens.
They could have done it where it's like, Carter doesn't care. She's like, no, this is more important to do. Do you get what I mean? Like, she's not... And it's like, I kind of like that, even though the one general keeps saying, "Oh, there's a woman Captain America. This is not what I paid for." I like that she's treated with more respect than Captain America, because she won't let her name be disrespected. Someone's like, "Oh yeah, a woman should be Captain." She's like, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I will throw this frisbee at your head." Max 17. The best part about this episode was the action scene. Her storming the castle and then fighting off what I'm just going to call Shimagoraf, because it makes sense later in the Doctor Strange episode as well. But that entire scene was so good. She throws a motorbike at someone. She yeets a vehicle. She just stands in front of a truck and flips it Christopher Nolan style. You know?
Yeah.
Just boom. So that was great. Yet, like, no one was interesting in this except from Captain Carter. Like, nothing new was added to Red Skull or...
It's because everybody was the same, apart from Steve, but...
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting that's what happens to Steve, I guess. Kind of. Not really.
Yeah, we'll find out what happens to him at the end.
Bum. Spoilers, Dan. I know we're reviewing this entire show, but, you know. That's literally all I can say. Good action. I like Captain Carter, and I think she's better in the last episode than she is in this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There you go. Now, let's go to my favourite episode out of any Marvel show ever. I would probably watch this episode on repeat more than any other MCU film. And that is, what if T'Challa became... Well, what's the rest of the sentence? A Ravager?
Became a Star Lord.
What's a Star Lord? Should be the Star Lord.
He's a Star Lord. He became a Star Lord.
Is a Star Lord a race? No. Shut up. I love this episode. It is so good. It is so fan-wanky. And it's like the first episode was safe, and then this episode is like cracks their fingers and go, let's have fun. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Because immediately changes the entire universe. When it's like,
everything's different.
And the guy goes, Star Lord? It's like, oh, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I get it now. Immediately. I understand, and I'm in for it. And that character, I found that character so annoying. But I couldn't help but laugh at everything he said. Because I'm just like, oh, God. What have we seen of you in the real MCU? Where you just...
I can't remember his name.
I don't care enough. I don't care.
Random Ravager man.
Exactly. And then you meet Yondu, and their relationship is the exact same as if it was Peter Quill. And I love how, because not in all the episodes are told what has happened. Like, what the if is. Because sometimes the Watcher's like, this is the moment the universe changes, timelines expand, and bleh.
This one is just he outsourced getting Peter Quill. And the two guys he sent don't see race.
Yeah. The two guys they sent are just human racists. They were like, if they haven't got like pointy ears or something on their foreheads, I don't see shit. I don't know who they are. Which I'm like, sure. It's such a...
funny.
None of these episodes, I'd say, are good concepts.
Oh,
you know? Where it's like, I don't give a shit.
Apart from the next episode. I think the next episode is a good concept, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I guess. It was weird execution. Okay, so yeah, T'Challa, and then the scene where they're just showing everyone, it's like, oh my god, Nebula! Wow! And then it's like...
She has hair!
Yeah, and then it's like, immediately, this version of Star-Lord is so hyped up, and I find better. Because he's such a Mary Sue character where he's good at everything. But sometimes you like that if it's in a good setting.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is fun. And it's like, oh, when you took down the Mad Titan. And he's just...
then his hand.
Then Josh Brolin just walks in. And that exact moment, my face lit up. I was like, oh my god, I love this show. And people are complaining like, oh, this just wastes Thanos' character. Like, if someone just persuaded him. And I'm like, no, just enjoy it.
But like, you take... Cool, he's just a nobody. Take T'Challa, like how he grew up, how his life was.
Yeah.
Wakanda. Would make sense that he changed the universe.
The only problem that I have is that this means that it's like there's no negatives for him becoming Star-Lord other than Wakanda doesn't have him. Do you get what I mean? Because then we see in the later episode, he just takes down Ego straight away. Like, he doesn't need Peter Quill to do that. He's just, have a bomb. Boom.
He's a bomb in his chest.
He just blows up.
I guess he is weaker because he's not on his home planet.
Yeah, like, that makes sense. That's fine. It's just like, there is no negative to this universe. In all the other universes, there's, like, somewhat of a negative. Like, half the Avengers die. There's zombies everywhere. We lose Doctor Strange. We lose Tony Stark. And we lose Tony Stark. And we lose Tony Stark. And it's like, but in this one, it's like, no, the world's great. We're missing no one. We're missing.
It's because Peter Quill sucks as a person.
I know. And it's just, I'm like, it could have been fun, in my opinion. This universe, let's just say season 1 was one universe. And we seen one thing change, and it spiraled into everything else. Do you get what I mean? So it's like, because T'Challa was never there in Wakanda, Killmonger becomes thing. Like, he comes early because he knows there's no one in the way of the throne. Do you get what I mean? And it's just like, because of Black Panther doesn't happen in Civil War, they all die. Do you get what I mean? I'm just like, It's just interesting because I don't like the Killmonger episode later down the line. But this episode, beautiful. Beautiful. Because different story straight off the bat. Immediately.
It's a heist.
A heist. Great. Love a bit of heist. And we've seen Drax as well. Nice little cameo for him.
A little cameo.
And it's like, oh, he lived happy.
Not Dave Bautista, but who cares?
And it's like, oh, he lived happy. So why is this universe not good again? This universe is perfect. And it makes sense that the Collector rose in power as Thanos got kicked out.
I like the idea of Thanos going there's a power vacuum.
Yeah. And I'm like...
I would like it if they explored that in the films as well, now that he's gone.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it was like... Oh, yeah, like, who took over when Thanos? And it's just Annihilus out of nowhere. You're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's no good. Thanos wanted to destroy half of us. Annihilus wants to eat us with his bug army. You get what I mean? Like, that could be fun.
In this universe, Thanos steps down, so the Collector comes up. If Thanos don't step down, Thanos is the one who kills the Collector.
Yeah. Big brain. It comes full circle. It's like poetry. It rhymes, as George Lucas once said. It's an actual line by him. Yeah, the heist is great as well. Using each other's like things and Thanos just punching.
No one line.
Oh, well, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that. Trust me. And then Thanos just punching the guy as a distraction. He's like, Genis, like whatever he called him earlier in that episode, and then just stomps the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, Captain Genocide.
Yeah, he's like, call me that again. And I'm like, Thanos, you're just gonna crush this man's skull in a minute. You're getting a bit too feisty. And I like the relationship between him and Nebula, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. That's a fun little thing, you know? And then, the thing is, like, it's the plant in it. They want to get the plant, which will grow an entire ecosystem. I thought that was just the MacGuffin, but no, it actually does help later in the episode to take down, what's his name?
The Black Order, just those guys.
Yeah, but what's the main guy's name? Not Collins, the thick one. What's the thick one's name? Oh, I can't remember.
Obsidian.
Is that it? Oh, I was right. I'm sick. When he eats it, and it's like... When I think about it, it was more gruesome than it was. But it just cuts from him being there to a tree. But in my mind, he splits open. You know?
He's
just in that immediate second. Yeah, like Nebula just... That's the thing with Marvel. It's like, we don't care. We'll kill people. I don't give a shit. Never once in a Marvel film we can be like, I will not kill. I'm like, if Captain America does, you can too. It's fine.
To be fair, guy had a pretty gruesome death in the films as well.
I know. Give this man a break, you know? I know,
I
like...
think he got snapped away in Endgame. He had a bit of a nicer death that time.
Yeah. That was more, like, peaceful.
Yeah.
This one, he gets immediately shreked.
At least it was quick.
Yeah. Yes, it was quick. You are right. There's just no way to put...
It was at least 1 second.
Yeah. What you call it?
It doesn't matter because we got that lovely line.
Yes. The line I'm talking about is literally one of my favourite MCU moments now. It's just like, I'm not crazy, I'm mad. And it's just, it's so perfect.
If it wasn't Josh Brolin.
No. The character's expression, to the camera angle used, to the changing of lighting, to the tone of his voice, to the line itself. Mwah, beautiful. Best thing out the MCU.
Let's say, I think this episode works better as well because everybody came back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, but that was just a quick cameo.
Just like, Karen Gillan, what are you doing? You ain't in Doctor Who these days. Get back. Make the show and shut up. And we probably have to talk about it. I prefer this Star Lord to Black Panther, like in his film. Because in his film, I felt like, other than the scenes with his sister, I felt like he didn't have much of a personality outside being a prince. In this film, I'm like, oh, there's so much fun. Because in this film, he has people to work off. Like, he's flirting with Nebula. He's being like a companion to Thanos. He's being the role.
Just like the typical quippy hero.
Yeah, and it's like, but in this, he has relationships with people. Like, he's the role model to that one dude. He's a son figure to Yondu, you know? And it's like, everyone knows him. And I'm just like, that's kind of fun. Because we don't see that much in the MCU. We only ever see that with, like, Tony Stark. Where he's the only one who ever gets the, like, the actual gratification for being a hero. Like, someone thanks him. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that's nice. And then nowhere is just Shrek to believe,
That's
but
cool.
you know. Well, no, because it's just an ecosystem now. So plants can grow, people can thrive.
In a celestial head.
There'll just be no more technology. You all have to live like Ewoks now. That's it. You have to work. If like the Nova Corps come in to come collect debts or whatever, you have to like tree stumps to the head and spears and coconuts. That's all you've got.
It worked in Star Wars. It could work in this.
Exactly. This.
Moving on to the next one now.
No. I think I've talked about. You think I've talked about my favorite episode enough? No. The last thing I'm going to say is I like him being reunited with his actual dad, because we don't like Star Lord's dad is a dick. So, you know. So it's like it would be nice if when he went to Earth, because we may get that in Guardians 3, that he's on Earth and he experiences what Earth is like all over again. But it's like no one knows him. No one cares that he's disappeared. Because his mum dead, his dad a dick, you know? But when Star-Lord returns, it's like triumphant and wow. And that thing of Yondu keeping it a secret as well. Oh, I love this episode. What episode is next?
I think it works better, the secret being kept in this than it did in the Guardians movies.
Yeah, definitely. So, next episode,
Okay,
Dan.
next
You can carry this on.
episode 3. The world lost its mightiest heroes.
So sad.
This is the best concept.
Yeah, a weird execution of it being Hank Pym of all people, which makes sense in the comics because he is always insane, but we've never got that in the films of him being deranged.
Don't really get much with Hank Pym. But...
Yeah, and we never get the thing where it's like, this is where the universe changed. Like, we never get to see Janet, or not Janet,
because
the other one. Hope. It's all about hope.
It's because it's a mystery.
Yeah, but it's like, at least when you...
I quite like this episode, though.
Yeah, I like it. But I like it all the way up until the last 5 minutes. Like, I don't care about the Hank Pym reveal. But I cared about the Avengers dying, the mystery that was building, you know? Like, I personally think it could have been a cooler reveal than what it was. Especially because I'm fed up of Loki. I'm just going to say it. From his show to him appearing in half of the films to everything else. I just...
To what if?
Exactly. I've had enough of him now. I've had enough. Except from when he's a big frost giant. Then I'll have him again. But then I'll have enough again. But I'm like, do we really have to involve him? Like, it could have been more fun. It could have been like Thanos. It could have been like, yeah, it does. But it could have been like Thanos came early and that's who killed them. I'm like, why Hank Pym? Why?
Because mystery.
Yeah, but why? Yeah, but it could have been anyone then. But why?
Hulk blew up.
Exactly. But
I quite like it.
why? I just don't care for the reveal and the ending. The entire time I was so hyped for the mystery.
It's probably my favourite episode.
I love I love a good mystery film. So it's like, ooh, I'm in it. But then I'm like, oh, it's Hank Pym. Oh, okay, fair enough. You do you, show.
Black eyes, so you knew he was evil.
Evil, eh? And I kind of like it.
I did quite like him in the yellow jacket suit.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked crisp. Especially with, it was like an edited yellow jacket suit as well. It was more like comic accurate with the weird shoulder things that pop out. But it's like, it's so strange. And I do like the thing of maybe Black Widow's past being called into and how they all die. Like, Thor's just killed.
It's just murdered.
Hawkeye is just, what happened to him? He just has like a heart attack or something.
He gets killed when he's arrested for killing Thor.
Yeah, I can't remember how. Hulk obviously
he just
blows
gets
up,
shot up.
which that is so
Hulk
funny
blows
that
up.
like
was quite...
Black Widow's talking to Becky Brandt, and then it's just like he's just in the cupboard.
Hulk just blows up.
Yeah, just in the cupboard, and then immediately just goes. I was like, are we going to see Abomination?
It's kind of
he
mad
just wasn't
that it's
there.
Edward Norton, Hulk, and
Yeah,
played by Mark Ruffalo.
just Mark Ruffalo's face. What a sexy man.
And then later with the Terrence Howard Rhodey voiced by Todd G.
Like, oh my god. Yeah, but at least they look like the characters who played them. Like, it doesn't look like Edward Norton and Terrence Howard. That's how the guy who did the casting for Iron Man 2 said. Because you know when he was like, oh yeah, how no audience will be able to tell the difference. I'm like, have you ever looked at these two men? You're racist and blind. Like, throw some eyeballs. God damn it. Okay, but go on, Dan. You like this episode so much. You discuss it.
I like this episode because I was ill when I was watching it and I was having a great time.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Honestly, the only downside for me for this episode is the person voicing Black Widow.
Yeah, I guess. I don't think she does bad, but I think it's just...
Bad, but it's like...
It's not...
Because you're surrounded by a lot of people that came back.
Yeah.
But you didn't get Iron Man to come back. But it's like, the only lines you said were ones you ripped straight out of the film anyway.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead. Yet again. He's dead.
Like, you couldn't get Cap back. He wasn't really in the episode.
Yeah, that's fine.
Every other main actor got back.
Yeah. I get that, but it's like, I don't know what they could have done. Like, get a voice-alike thing. And I have problems with the voice.
Does the job well enough.
Where I'm like, get everyone back, or get no one back. Don't do 50-50 half the time, so I have to guess. Is that Chris Hemsworth, or is it not? You know?
Was Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I know. I figured that out.
That's because I watched the intro credits. You just skip.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I shouldn't have to pay attention to who's in it when it's animated.
If I watched the main intro cast, I would have had this review spoiled for me because I'd have seen Michael Douglas's name.
Michael Douglas! Okay. I'm just glad that I guessed it was an Ant-Man. I guessed it was someone with shrinking powers during the Black Widow fight.
When they were like, it's all about hope, I was like, wait a minute.
I didn't even pay attention to that because I figured that out a bit before. I think it was a little bit before that when they talked about the nano injection into Tony. I was like, small people.
Yeah. It was ill. I wasn't really thinking that much.
Yeah, you can't think when you're ill.
I was like, it's Scott Lang.
Okay, so
Paul Rudd.
Oh my god, good episode. For you, great episode. I think just good episode with a lackluster ending. But we can have difference of opinion here on the Amalgam Hour Podcast.
I know. We actually have different opinions. We don't agree this time.
Yeah. Usually it's like, Loki. That sucks. Shang-Chi. That's bland. Black Widow. What happened to Taskmaster? You know? So it's usually the same opinion across the board. But go on, Dan. Next episode. Go.
What if Doctor Strange had lost his heart instead of his hands?
My second favourite episode. Actually, I don't know. Because
honestly, when I read the title, I was like,
I know. I was like, what the fuck is this? Because it's like,
when I said the episode to you, you were like, well, he's dead.
Well, he's dead then. Yeah, because I'm just a literal human. I'm a literal person. I'm just like, the title is rubbish for what it is. You know? But, I love it. I love it so much.
The only problem I have with it is, where the hell did that relationship come from?
I guess, but I don't think I didn't pay attention to their relationship in the first film. So when it came to this, this episode, I'm just like, oh yeah, they had a relationship. I don't care.
I think the film sort of like teases that they sort of had a relationship in the past, but he's a bit of an asshole. So, but I guess it's just what if Doctor Strange wasn't an asshole?
Yeah, and then he's like, never mind, I am anyway.
Well, I guess it's just what if he was a good boyfriend?
And it makes sense for his character. He's like, no, I'm just going to become powerful. GTFO.
Yeah.
And then
it's kind of depressing when she's dying over.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, that sucks so bad. That sucks so much.
Then he changes seats and then she still dies.
Yeah, it's like, no, God just hates you. God just hates you. Because it's so weird, because it's like, no, this universe is the universe where she dies. So it's like, if you went...
He has to die.
Yeah. That's the only thing that changes, which causes the spiral
in this
effect.
universe, that's his motivation to becoming Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But it's like, so if you did that in the regular MCU, it's like, no, the thing you're after, Doctor Strange, is the regular MCU. That's what you want, and you can't have that. You're not allowed. Kevin Feige said no. But then him going on the thing to collect all those magical creatures is the most beautiful animation in this show. Except from one scene, which I might as well talk about right now. In the end fight, when he's going between them all, and he becomes one with all the creatures, and I'm like, oh, that's sexy.
Oh, yeah.
And Captain Carter's got minor PTSD from looking at Shimagura's tentacles again. Did you notice that as well? She's looking at it funny. And I'm like, is something going to be mentioned about that? And then nothing's ever mentioned it. I know, and he's like, I killed it too.
She's
don't
probably
worry.
just like assuming he's from a different world. That's that version of it.
Yeah. But it's like, technically...
She probably just connected the dots. But...
Yeah. Well, she didn't kill it. She just cut... Because she says, don't she? I can't kill it because it keeps growing back tentacles. So that's why she pushes it through.
Cuts loads of tentacles off.
Yeah. And then he just, like, burns it and absorbs it. He absorbs a dragon and takes the cloak of levitation off of a cockroach. Which, sure, you do you show. You can have a funny joke every now and again. And then this show's like, no, let's get depressing. And then, that fight where... And it's like, it's a bit bullshit where it's like, no, I split you into 2 different timelines. And it's like, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, that's really weird. And then it got into the fight and I was like, never mind, I don't care anymore. I don't give a shit.
She created her own wife.
I know, I'm like, is that legal? You can't do that. You
like,
can't be going to do that.
I'm doing this.
Yeah, I don't care what you say. We need to start going through these quicker. We're only on episode 4.
Oh, we don't.
This episode was great. I love this episode. There was a cloak fight, and then it's the most sour note as well. It's just him just crying in a bubble. And the way...
I did like that he just called out the Watcher.
Yeah. We'll discuss that now, but I'm just going to quickly say I love how the world disappears. That is just like inky goo just disappearing. It's like, oh, well, universe is gone.
Turns into blackness.
I know. And it's just him in a bubble. And that part where it's like, who said that? And Watcher's like, where it's like,
should have done that shut up thing a few episodes later.
Yeah. When he's against let's just say it, when he's against Ultron, I'm like, haven't you learned to shut the fuck up when you're around people now? When you're around ultimate cosmic beings, keep your mouth shut, Owatu, okay? Owatu, close your mouth. Move on. Move. Keep going. Don't get caught in your own thoughts. That's when you start speaking shit, and then someone goes, who said that? And you go, what? Every time. That is great though. And then their relationship, I love this Doctor Strange way more than the regular one. I like the Doctor Strange in the normal thing, and it's the only character that I like magic. I hate magic as just in films, books, comics, etc. Except MCU.
It usually just changes everything.
Yeah, except MCU Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
Just to suit something.
Yeah, but MCU Doctor Strange, it's a fun character and it looks awesome. And then this, it just sends it up a notch. Because I love anti-villain characters, anti-heroes. I love dark heroes. I love... And then, along with how cool it looks when he uses his powers. Like when he's in shadow... Like, you just see him in a shadow and he looks like a demon. And then he steps out and it's just Benedict Cumberbatch. You're like, oh, cool. Cool shit. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like when he brings it back and he's just a disgusting monster.
Yeah. It's like, I really want to see... Like, I know it's like, why? Why bring these characters into the MCU when there's 1,002 other stories we could do from the comics? But I'm also like, yeah, but you built them up and they're really cool. They're really cool. I
don't think we'll see this Doctor Strange again.
I think we'll keep seeing him and he'll be the person the Watcher's talking to a lot of the time. Or like, he's
just be someone he goes to.
He's friend of Watcher now. That's what he is. And if we ever get another like Ultron, Infinity Ultron,
he has a problem. He just puts him into a bubble and gives him to Doctor Strange.
yeah, and Doctor Strange just becomes, I am the arbiter of the bubble, the bubble world. The Watchers, the Watcher over the multiverse. Doctor Strange, he gets bubbles. That's what he gets. Bubbles.
Watching a bubble in a bubble being watched by the Watcher.
Yeah, but at least when the Watcher's watching, Doctor Strange go, I fucking see you. I can see you, big bitch. Watcher's like, go on, before we talk about this beautiful Doctor Strange all day, let's talk about the next episode, Dan. Go.
Zombies.
Don't care. Move on. Go on.
I thought it was fun.
I'm going to give my opinion in a few sentences. I found this boring. I did not care about the characters, did not care about the situation. I don't like zombies as a thing. They're so overrated. I've seen too much of them, and I don't give a shit. The only part I liked was Zombie Scarlet Witch, and that's it. And they reference the comic once. I'm like, congrats. Now, Dan, talk about what you like this episode.
If you like zombie movies, you'll like this episode.
And I appreciated how they did the cliches and stuff, but I'm like, you've only got 20 minutes. And if you do every cliche in 20 minutes, there's nothing else left for this show. And the only thing it had over normal zombie media is superpowers. You know? But even then, I'm like, you get that for Scarlet Witch and her only. So go on, Dan. Go on a 30-minute rant about how this episode was good. Because I don't want to talk about this anymore.
It wasn't that good. It should have been darker. Should have been darker.
And it's like people are now saying,
you get the hints of it with like Vision, like feeding Black Panther to Wanda. And...
yeah, which is from the comics. The one thing that's dark in this episode is from the comic. So
then you get like that little intro bit where the Wasp comes in and just like gets the ants just to eat all the zombies.
Yeah.
And I did like that shot where we first see the zombies and his Iron Man comes out and he just massacre those two children of Thanos or whatever they are.
Yes.
Just get massacred. It's just Bruce Banner like,
I'll give you that, but everything else was boring to me.
Started off like,
yeah. But I don't know.
When Bucky killed Cap, like,
ooh,
you can't just be like, ooh, funny joke. It's like you just killed your best friend.
But I'm also like, I'm so fed up of that cliche as well of I have to kill the person I care for, and then I'm just like, just do. That's the thing. If you read Marvel Zombies, it's not like any other any other zombie story, because if they eat humans, they get their sanity back and everything. They have powers. They then eat Galactus and go into different universes and stuff. I'm like, at least it's fun. You know? It's fun and unique. This is boring and cliched.
It got interesting at the end where there was zombie Thanos, and then at the bit just before that when Hulk started fighting Scarlet Witch, and then it ended.
Yeah. Pretty much. Which I'm like, are we ever... Because I don't know. There's obviously going to be a season 2. But what will season 2 be? Do you think we're going to get What If Zombies again? Because it's set up on a cliffhanger with zombie...
because it's the only episode that doesn't get really wrapped up.
I guess.
The finale.
Yeah.
One that's just left.
Yeah.
So they could be maybe planning on doing.
I think they did that just so it's like we could make a film, we could make a spin-off show, we could do anything, and it's just like I don't.
But you've already butchered
I won't watch
it.
that. Yeah, it's like that. Isn't that what this show's meant to be for? Weird concepts that's not in the MCU.
I'm gonna say it now before we get there. This show should have been monthly release, short animated movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
30-minute episodes, like hour short movies.
Yeah.
If you've got more time to tell the story, it's just been better.
But then it's
You're not
like
rushing everything.
The animation would have looked even worse, but some of them we didn't need. Like this next episode.
The next one.
What if
Worst
Killmonger
episode of the show
Tony?
by far.
Oh, it's boring bollocks. I don't care.
So, you have Tony. The whole idea is basically what if Tony Stark end up in the cave?
Yeah, And it's like
follow that.
Watcher literally said that, where it's like, oh my god, it'd be so interesting if Tony didn't become Iron Man, but we're gonna see the most boring one. Do you know what I mean?
They got this whole. Everybody has thought about. But what if Iron Man was never a hero?
Yeah.
The entire MCU was built on that.
Literally, season 2, I want an episode where it's like, what if Iron Man died in Avengers 1? And I want to see the literal linear progression of that universe and just see how fucked it gets in the end. You know? And then
So that's what this should have been. You've taken him out of the world.
Yeah.
Before he was able to have that impact which he had.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my god, you gave us.
It should have been that, not Black Panther happened a few years earlier.
Yeah. And to be fair, to me, that was the only interesting part, was Killmonger killing War Machine, killing Black Panther, and rising into power just because he's a murderer. And then him lying to people, like to Tony and to Peggy,
manipulating people and
to King Panther. That's his name now.
King Panther.
But everything else, I'm like, I don't care. Robots versus rhino people? Wow. Rhinos? Woo! Don't care. Ooh.
They couldn't have done anything more boring.
Yeah. The only thing I liked was Tony Stark. Because he was just Tony Stark. Other than the voice actor, it was like...
It's like, you've done, oh my god, Tony Stark says, like, we've already had that twice now.
Yeah.
Has worn off.
That's the thing. I still want that episode where it's like, what if he... Wouldn't he have been sick? This is what I'm saying. The portal closed early in Avengers, or Iron Man didn't float back to Thing. And then we see
I'm pretty sure that's what the Gamora Thanos episode is going to be.
That could have been... Yeah, that could have been cool. But they wouldn't have talked about how... Or I guess they would have. But it's like... I want to see how the universe goes without Iron Man. Just at all. That makes sense because that's why he was on Sakaar. Because he went through the wormhole. You cut
one episode. Why did you cut that episode? Cut this one.
Oh, this one stinks.
I think the only reason this one's here is because Black Panther's in it and Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm glad they kept all of his parts in.
Make that the premiere for season 2.
Yeah. Or make that the start... This, condense it all the way down into 5 minutes and then have it be at the start of episode 9 to show you Killmonger origin in that. And then there you go. Because I'm kind of interested in what the Gamora one was. I kind of want to know. It's like, are we going to get it?
Got loads of merchandise on and everything and it just never happened.
It's like, are we going to get it in season 2?
Which I hope we get season 2 next year.
Yeah. Because this could just be yearly release.
Just for the next multiverse and they're doing, just do yearly release for them.
So let's stop talking about this boring bollocks. Let's talk to a pretty decent one. What if Thor was an only child? I only like this.
That was a sucky concept.
Yeah, I only like this because I found some parts funny, and most of it was the bombastic stuff like Surtur and the Statue of Liberty and like Howard the Duck getting married, whatever, to Darcy. Who cares?
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
And then, one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in any animated thing, Captain Marvel versus Thor. I've never loved both characters so much when they're just smacking each other across countries. Oh my god, it's so cool.
Times better in this show than she's been in any of the films.
And it's like, because she's had time to be cool in this, and it doesn't feel like she's showing off.
The show is literally just, what if we actually knew about the pager?
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, because we also get that in the Avengers one. Because we get a new Avengers, which is... Doesn't it show it? And it's literally just Captain America and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's just Captain America and Captain Marvel.
2 captains. I feel like there's going to be some arguments in that crew, you know? There's too many captains.
I don't think there is. There's only 2 of them.
Exactly. Yeah, but there's 2 captains. Who's going to lead?
Fury.
There's 2 of them. That's a good point. That's the only thing I cared about this episode. Was some of the jokes landed.
It was just fun.
But
nice cameos.
But the story I didn't care about. Yeah, everyone turned up in this episode. Like, Korg was here.
Passed out in the sink.
I know. what's he doing here? This isn't your episode. Get out.
Why were Thor and Jane sleeping together, but then they had all these other people also in the room?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
What happens in that room stays in that room.
That's Asgardian culture.
You don't want to know what Rocket saw.
Exactly. Or what Rocket was a part of, might I add. But that fight was so good. Just him, like, lightning Captain Marvel and her just being like, boom, just across the universe. No.
Then him just placing the hammer on it.
Yeah, which I'm like, perfect. Because he should have done that to every villain ever. You know what I mean?
He does it to Loki in the first, though.
Bro, he should have just done it to Ultron immediately. Just pushed him to the ground and then hammer. And then walked away. Just leaving. You're not setting off your bomb. No. You're not making a weird meteor. Why is that the plot of Avengers 2? That's so strange.
Joss Whedon, but we're not talking about Avengers 2.
I know, it's just crazy. Let's talk about a really good depiction of Ultron. We're just going to talk about episode 8 and 9 together. Because...
What if Ultron won, and what if the Watcher broke his oath? Basically, a two-batter.
Yes. And it's like, yes, you get the setup for Ultron, but I don't care about that. The only part I cared about was Thanos gets split in twain, which was funny.
It was madness.
Ultron looks cool in that, as well as you get Anim Zola beat Anim Zola, and I'm like, oh, goody. A villain. I like it. I like it a lot. And then episode 9 is the best thing I've ever seen with my eyes. It's just cool yet again, because there's a fight scene for 35 minutes. I'm like, oh wow. And in episode 8 as well, you get Watcher versus Ultron, which yet again, gorgeous action. When people are just talking and stood around, I don't care. You know?
The animation kind of sucks. So.
Yeah, but when it's people fighting, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is amazing.
Probably why they went for that style.
Yeah, and I'm like, if you're really good at the action stuff, just keep doing the action stuff. You know? Don't stop. Don't stop. And that's what episode 9 was.
Even if they're meant to be talking, just have people fighting.
Yeah.
So.
Which episode? That's what episode 9 was. It was like, oh, hey guys. Watcher was like, yo, bitches. We've all got
Guardians of the Multiverse. Let's go. Okay, let's go fight.
Immediately. It's like no planning. Let's go.
Okay, we got destroy Stony thing. Go.
Yeah. And then it was like, never mind. Destroy Stony thing did not work. Retreat.
Yeah. I hate the explanation that the showrunner's given with the stones working, which is just they only work because Ultron's using them and he's from the same universe as them.
Yes. I'm just like, either make it be so the stones work in the universe, or don't mention it at all. Just be like, oh yeah, they work across all universes.
And then like, we can't break them because the stones are different on a molecular level.
Ooh. I do like that. And then it's like, no, it's Anim's time to shine.
Yeah, let's go. Let's call back.
Yeah, and then Killmonger's like, no, I think I'll take these Infinity Stones, thank you. And this little small...
Stranger's like, no, I put you in a bubble.
Yeah, and this little small German dude's like, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't, bitch.
It's like it when they shot him with the arrow and then it cuts to inside Ultron.
Yeah, and he's like, who is this?
Like, wait.
It's like, I am a virus. It's like...
Zola did to Ultron what Ultron did to Jarvis.
Yeah. He's like, revenge. I knew Jarvis. We talked over the internet a lot. We were pen pals. Revenge! God, this episode's good. And, it's just... And them all working off of each other is fun. Like, T'Challa just flying all over the place. Killmonger and Gamora just sort of being there.
They all had a reason to be there as well.
Yeah, where it's like, Thor, you're here because you're pretty powerful. Captain Carter, you're here because you're a good leader, I guess. Gamora...
Doctor Strange is there because...
Gamora, you have the prop I need.
The...
You have the prop I want. That Black Widow is there because we need Anim Zola, a little German dude. Yeah. And Killmonger...
You're there to portray the team.
Yes, exactly. And then even at the end of the episode, the Watcher was like, I seen this happen. I seen it. I knew this was going to happen.
It's just because he has a reputation he needs to keep up.
Yeah. Shit, I broke my oath. Let's say I knew this was going to happen. And that's why I stepped in. Not because...
Doctor Strange was like, we were never meant to win.
Yeah. And then Doctor Strange is just like, I'm 99% of this team's power, don't mind me, and just fighting off 5 Infinity Stones all at once. He's like, no.
Like, every time somebody's using their power, you just see Doctor Strange, like, amplify it.
Yeah. But it's so cool, because they do the thing where it's like, yet again, which is best seen in Infinity War, when they're trying to make it so he can't snap. It's just like, get the stone and run. And it's just like Star Lord going Mach 3. He's like, gotta go.
Fighting for the Soul Stone.
Which is like a fun. It's fun to like throw that in.
Every teenage girl is crying.
Why?
Because people get very emotional with those two characters.
Oh yeah, Gamora and Black Widow, and I'm like, can I get more Captain Carter?
Okay, call back. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, we're done here. Move on. Next.
Who cares about Gamora? Move on.
Yeah. And how did they defeat him in the end? I can't even remember.
Bubble.
Yeah, with the bubble, but he gets the stones. Oh yeah, it's just. Oh yeah,
no, they're both fighting for the stones, and they're all in the middle.
Yeah, they all bombard him at once, don't they? They just do it so. Oh yeah, he can't get a
He can't get the stones. You can't use them because they're always hitting him.
Yeah, so he can't even get a thought in. He's like, okay, I'll blast T'Challa, and then all of a sudden there's a frisbee at his head, and then it's like, okay, I'll.
That moment where
Captain Carter.
What was it? Like Captain Carter smacked him in the head, and Black Widow swiped his legs.
Yeah, he's just like, oh shit, he's just falling all over the place. He's like, help me.
Yeah, zombies dropped on his head.
Which I'm like, that's when he should have called in an Ultron army. But then,
glad he didn't.
the only thing I would have liked with that is if he called in an Ultron army, and then Doctor Strange goes, pfft, and then just makes multiples of himself, and then he's like, there you go. And then Ultron's like,
I wanted to call in an Ultron army so I could see Thor rock up in a Hyundai.
Oh, yeah. What a great Hyundai advert. Spoiled my shit. Do you know what I was really expecting? At one point, Watcher comes back in and goes, we can't defeat Ultron, we have to do something else. And then he opens portals for all the team, and then they all run through the portal. And Ultron's like, where the fuck have you all gone? And then they all come back with a stone from their universe. Do you get what I mean? So it's like,
I was expecting him to use a stone each.
Yeah.
There was 6 of them.
Exactly. So it's like everyone
Widow
wield
showed
one.
up.
Yeah. And it's like, I get it because Captain Carter couldn't wield one. Star Lord couldn't wield one. Killmonger couldn't wield one. Gamora couldn't wield one by herself. Just giving them all to Doctor Strange. Just make a necklace out of it.
I was sick when he was like, oh wait, I can use the time stone to stop people, and Doctor Strange's like,
and he's like, he Uno reversed him. He was like, haha, rewind time, and Doctor Strange was like, no, I'm good. I don't. He literally.
Tentacle monster.
No, I don't think I will. Back in time. I know, and he just calls on his entire every astral being that he's possessed inside of his body. He's like, come on, boys, let's fuck shit up. Boom! And Ultron's like, I'm so fucked. And I love it because it's like, I need to destroy Doctor Strange. And you're like, yeah, you're right. Because anytime someone gets smacked, it's just like a bubble becomes around him. And I'm pissed that we didn't get to see the Watcher team up with them. There was no point where the Watcher was fighting with them. And I'm just like, we've literally seen him fight last episode. Literally, I
was expecting a sacrifice in the end, but
yeah, but it's like it would have been good if it was the Black Widow, because she's got nothing left to live. Or it was the Doctor Strange's penance for what he did in his universe, sort of thing, or the lives he took. Then it's also
him just watching the bubble. So
yeah, he just watches the bubble now, and I'm just like, we didn't need this team. We needed the Watcher and Doctor Strange tag team in this Ultron. Because it's like, do you get what I mean? It's like Doctor Strange, you can be the paladin of this group, and you give the Watcher extra armor and heal potion every now and again. Watcher, you just go in hand swinging, and then it'll be a fun fight.
Yeah.
They should have all got the stone.
Needed T'Challa to steal a stone,
Yeah.
and then...
Which I get. I'm like, that's fun. To have like a reveal as well, and then Anim Zola just be trapped in a bubble. So that's fun. But it would have been... They could have all wielded a stone because Doctor Strange was letting them. Like, the bubble was helping. It was like... Do you know the thing where it's like, it goes up their arm and like, it does like, if you grab the Power Stone, you get like purple eyes and the world flakes around you. Instead, that happens to like the bubble or Doctor Strange himself. Do you know what I mean?
He can tank it.
Yeah, he's a fucking beast. He should have got the gauntlet at one point, and then Ultron just goes, "Oh shit." And we haven't talked about it, but the Watcher is one of my favourite characters. Because 90% of the time, he's monologuing at you. And then the other 10%, he's panicking. He's like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
In episode 8, when they're looking in the thing, and Hawkeye gives up, and he's just like...
What are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? Look! He was like, no, I can't intervene. Or should I? No, I can't. Or maybe I will. No, maybe? So like, make your mind up.
You know his hand was about to reach into that world.
Yeah, he literally was. No, I think he was going to grab Hawkeye, shake him by his collar. Look in the file! And then disappears.
And Black Widow finds in because that was my box.
Yeah. Watcher was like, oh fuck. I almost warped time and space.
You know, every time you can't find something, and that's that one place you give up just before looking.
There's one Watcher being like, oh! There's one Watcher just panicked because you're on the verge of saving the universe. Oh,
Hawkeye's just like, I can't be asked living anymore.
So let's go through it. Episode 1, okay episode. I'm just going to say okay.
Okay, yeah.
Episode 2, great. What's your opinion on it? Like,
yeah, it's great. Yeah, great episode.
Yeah, okay, great. Episode 3, you find great, don't you? I find okay. So it's a good. It's a good. What if Doctor Strange lost his hat? The title gets an F. The episode gets a great. What if zombies? What would you rate it out of meh, bad, okay, good, great? What would you say?
It's okay.
It's okay. I give it...
anything's bad, apart from episode 6.
I personally give it a bad, just because this is the only episode I got fully bored in. I was like, oh, I just skip. I just started skipping parts. I was like, I don't give a shit. So this is just a bad to like meh episode. Episode 6, boring as all hell. I'm going to give it a meh, just because...
Bad, awful. Worst episode of the show. Why did this happen? Trash.
I find episode 5 worse, but that's only because I didn't get bored during episode 6. I just didn't care. Do you know what I mean? I was never like...
That's worse.
But I'm just like...
I didn't care and I was bored.
Exactly. So this is going to get a bad, just because I think it's meh, you think it's bad. Easy.
It should get dog poo.
Phil was an only child. Okay. I'm just going to say okay. And then episode 8 and 9. Mwah, beautiful, eh? Kiss you, show.
The show was like, okay, we're going to have a nice teaser. Okay, we're going to give you all the best. We're going to go downhill a bit and then we're going to bring it back.
And then we're going to peak. It's like... Yeah, it did. It's like a weird... If you put it on like a scale.
It was like, okay, we're going to start quite low. We're going to go right up to the top. Then we're going to go down again. Then we're going to go right back up.
Yeah. You're going to love it. You're going to love every second. Like, I'd love... I may watch this show back. I may only watch the episodes I really like.
And it's like... with this show.
Yeah. And by the way...
That's what I like about this show is...
Yeah, go on.
Each episode is catered to a different person.
Yeah. And by the way, you could lose episode 3, the one where the Avengers die. You could lose it. It doesn't impact the two-parter, except from at the end. But if the Watcher explains it anyway, this is a universe where Black Widow, they don't have a Black Widow.
Yeah, this is
you don't need episode 3. You could have done something more interesting with that
If
concept.
they wanted to drop an episode, I reckon it should have been 5.
I reckon what they should have done, keep episode 3, but instead of Hank Pym, make it Killmonger. Do you get what I mean? For whatever reason. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
and similar things could have happened. Similar things could have happened.
Unless it was just they were in his way to get in.
Yeah.
But I did like the idea that it was like Fury's big weekend back then.
Yeah. It could have been the exact same thing where it's like Iron Man is saved by Killmonger, doesn't get the suit. Instead they give the Gungam suit to Killmonger. He then gets asked to join the Avengers, and then before the Avengers has even started, he takes them out one by one, so he can't be stopped on his takeover of Wakanda. Do you get what I mean? That's much more interesting than episode 3 and episode 6. You know?
I reckon if they... of the episodes, they dropped the Gamora one. They shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Should have dropped the zombies one. Then all the zombies falling out of the portal in the last episode.
That would have been a sick setup to
just
be like
tease for like.
Yeah. Because they
zombies got away. Oh my god.
They could. I wouldn't even mind if they had the show What If, and then they made animated movies which are like, what if zombies? What if this? What if that? Do you get what I mean? That either expand on ones. Yeah. That either expand on ones we've already seen, expanded on ones we've had hints to, or just new concepts that are worth an entire film.
Apparently, the showrunner said they had an idea that T'Challa Star Lord to have his own spin-off show.
I would have loved that, because honestly, it's the one, in my opinion, that has the most validation. Because zombies, it's like you're just going to tell the same zombie story over and over again. That's all you can do.
You could carry on, but I reckon that world is just going to end.
Yeah.
Our world has been taken over.
Captain Carter is like, what if it was her instead of Steve? Not much change. But
they are carrying on with that one.
Yeah, which I'm like, that's fine, because they set it up in the end.
Which I'm like, that's Captain Carter one. They're going to do season 2. Is going to be, what if Captain Carter the Winter Soldier, and like season 3 will be what if Captain Carter Civil War. Yeah,
I'd be okay with that if it's like one string line, you know, for the entire thing. One character to sort of be the mascot of this show.
She is the mascot of the show at the moment.
Yeah, because it literally tells you what the show is all about. It's like, oh, that's Peggy Carter, so it's... Oh, so the show is what if she was Captain America. It's like, you just got it right then. Immediately. Do you know what I mean?
Got it right there. Not big head man.
Exactly. Not Watu. He never says he's a Watu once. He just says, I am the Watcher.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Doesn't need to. It's Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah. And it's like, you might as well be a Watu. Because I don't think there's many more Watchers we know of. Do you know what I mean?
It's just assumed he's a Watu.
Yeah. I think it's just...
Might as well be.
I love how he's not explained at all. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm the Watcher. I watch over multiverses. The audience...
The multiverse only just got created, but...
We know why... his motivation, where he comes from, etc. Because we're comic fans.
Yeah.
The audience, I'd love to know if some audience people are like, why does he watch over here? What's his job? Why? Who did he make an oath to?
People who don't know the comics are just like, this guy's a creep.
What are you talking to those people for? What's going on? I'm confused.
Yeah, these stories mean everything to me.
Yeah. Oh. So there you go. There was our opinions over every episode of What If. Excited for a season 2, Dan?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And...
best Disney Plus show.
Yes. What do you think the title's going to be? So, this
show sucks ass.
Yeah. I like this show. And it's definitely my favourite out of all of them. But I don't know why, because it's like, there's duds in here. But then it's also like...
Yeah, but I think it's got the low, like the really low, like this is the worst thing the MCU has ever done with episode 6.
And it's got some of the best shit ever. It's like,
As you can tell, I feel strongly about that episode.
Yeah. But
then it's got like some of the best moments in the MCU. So,
and I think it is as well. This is the most fan service, and sometimes, even though it's cheap to do fan service and stuff, it's just fun, and that's what the show is.
This is the show that can do it.
Yeah, because it's not in the MCU. Well, it's in the MCU.
It is. It's canon.
Yeah, but it's like tangential to the MCU. It doesn't affect anything down the line. Maybe, maybe not.
It would have. I have seen a theory. Not theory because it can't happen now, but a thing saying this season should have ended with Ultron winning and then dealing with that in Doctor Strange 2. But
yeah, but then it would be like 1,002 things in Doctor Strange 2. You know, I'm just like.
Then you'd be like, wait, I actually had to watch that animation.
Yeah. With this multiverse stuff, it's like people keep tacking on theories and rumors, and it's like, how much do you think you can get in one film?
I've stopped ignoring theories and rumors. Started ignoring them.
Yeah. I never cared to begin with. You know that.
No.
So, that was our opinions on What If. Bum bum bum. That should just be the theme of the show. Not whatever they have. Because I don't pay attention during those first 10 seconds. I never listen to what he says. So, please tell us what you think about this show, and I'd love to hear what people think should be in Season 2. I may Google that after this show. And maybe you should too. Or you could go to our Twitch, Infernum Comics, or our Instagram, Infernum_Comics, or our Twitter, which is just Infernum Comics again. It's the Instagram's the only Instagram's the only one that's different. What else would I call it? And if you stuck around this far, you get a little sneak peek because we also have a TikTok, which I believe is just at Infernum Comics. Interesting.
I think so.
Interesting. So,
you see videos there if I remember.
I've been Robin. That is Dan. This has been the Amalgam Hour Podcast. Thank you for listening.